Hello, I'm Richard Devaney from the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth College. Welcome to a video series of interviews that I conducted with senior executives from many different industries. The series is called Strategic Insights, and the goal is to help you to understand what great CEOs are thinking about as the critical issues of today. You've spoken to my class today about forming partnerships and operating in China.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience and what you are doing in China for manufacturing and licensing kinds of arrangements?
Well, I'm no stranger to China. Even going back to my days in GM, I had some responsibilities in China with some of the joint ventures there. So I have been going in and out of China now for about 10 years. And I think I've learned at least a few things about how China operates. Number one, it's very relationship based. The people you do business with there want to get to know you. They want you to spend enough time where they can know you as a partner. Whereas in the West, a lot of times you can almost structure a deal on paper. In China, it happens because they trust you and because they feel you're a person that they can do business with, even at a personal level. So you've got to be, if you're going to be successful in China, in my opinion, you've got to be willing to personally spend the time there to build the relationships, which are the underpinning for the partnership. I've got partnerships at multiple levels. In this Series C round of investment, two of my new investors are Chinese. One is a venture capital group based out of Beijing. The other is an industrial conglomerate based out of Jiangsu province. And I've spent considerable time with both of those parties, getting to know them, not just as companies, but getting to know their leadership as people. Okay, and we have actually developed, friendships and relationships that are very helpful because we understand each other. We've traveled together extensively and spent considerable time together. I also have developed a network of people in the government, both at the central government level, the policymakers, the people that set regulation and policy, and also at the local level where it's more support for my manufacturing operations, which are going into Liang in Jiangsu province. I personally enjoy doing business in China. The people are extremely hardworking. They're very focused. They have clear objectives in terms of what they're trying to accomplish. They want to be the world's leading economy. And they're willing to work hard to try to achieve it. People in the West keep asking me, what's the secret? And I said, well, the people are willing to really put the effort forth to achieve their objectives, and the government largely supports them. And so for us to be successful as a company, we need to be seen as part of that success and progress for the country. And I think we're rapidly becoming that. I mean, we have strong support from both private investors as well as from the government. And I think that's going to bode well for us in the future in terms of us being able to do business there successfully.
What keeps you up at night?
That's an excellent question. The biggest, and my investors ask me that every time I see them, the biggest issue we have right now as a company is an unexpected flaw in our product technology. Okay, this is an all-new system design, and you don't know what you don't know. I mean, you do extensive development, testing, validation, but I've been in automotive pretty much my whole life, and I've been involved in many development programs, a lot of them with new technology. And it never fails to amaze me. Even when I was in General Motors, where you had hundreds of engineers working on a project, you'd get down to maybe not the 11th hour, but maybe the 9th or 10th hour, and you experience some product failure in some test program or validation program that's unexplainable. And you have to go back and test all of your assumptions about how your system works and what was really proven and not proven to find the fault. And particularly in these very sophisticated electronically controlled devices, there's a lot of software and control that makes these systems function properly, and trying to diagnose a failure mode sometimes very complicated. Developing highly sophisticated new technology is fraught with potential issues like that. There's a lot of unknowns. With you look at a conventional car with a conventional internal combustion powertrain, there's 120 years of development that goes into those cars. I mean, the first cars, rolled out in the late 19th century. And so we've been dealing with the same basic technology and architecture in a car for over a century. So you've got 100+ years of accumulated knowledge and know-how, that goes into every car that's designed today. You don't have that on these electric drive systems. This era is only about 15 or 20 years long, and I've been involved in a lot of it. But there's still a lot yet to be learned. The automobile is a very demanding application. You think about it, right? You take untrained operators and semi-trained technicians, and you put this product into the marketplace, and they trust their life in it. I mean, people drive these things. I mean, this is how they get from point A to point B. And it's got to work every time flawlessly with no safety issues, and people don't maintain them properly, people don't use them, operate them properly. And yet the manufacturer is expected to provide flawless performance every time it's operated. And if it doesn't, you will not only have the customer coming after you, you'll have about 3 government agencies on your back who tell you what your responsibilities are. So, everybody wants to be, I make a, light of it, but, everybody wants to be in the car business until they try it. It's not. And and if you do it right, I mean, it's a very high volume industry. It creates a lot of jobs. That's why countries are very interested in it. But at the country level, a well-run car company is a 5% net margin opportunity. I mean, you got a $100 billion balance sheet, you're running a $100 billion top line, and you're lucky to get 3% on the bottom. It's a tough business. It is a tough business.